That's strange.
In case you're wondering.
I'm hearing myself in my ear. Sorry, they told me 7-6. Let me try it again. And I do not hear myself. Thank you so much.
Now, your forecast first from KARK4, your weather authority.
Yet another cloudy and cold day across Arkansas. Areas of rain today concentrated over the southeast and east central part of the state. Those areas now beginning to shrink up just a little bit. They'll be moving across the Mississippi River for the next couple of hours. We all will see another bout of rain as the main area of low pressure comes out of Oklahoma and Texas. And then finally, it looks like spring will be in the forecast. But your forecast first for Little Rock, we're looking for cloudy skies overnight tonight, a few evening showers, then we'll see a break. Rain redeveloping toward dawn, temperatures by morning at 39. KARK4 News at 5 starts now.
Now, from the station you count on for local news that matters. This is KARK4 News at 5.
That's all that's on your mind, is get there to help out my partner.
A Bryant police officer recovering tonight after being shot by a man who was wanted for murder out of Illinois. Just one of a number of shootings we are following up on for you this Wednesday evening. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. I'm Bob Clausen. Jessica has the night off. First up, Officer Scott Johnson involved in the shootout last night just after 11 o'clock. Illinois murder suspect Thomas Odell was shot and killed during an exchange of gunfire outside of a Fred store. KARK4's Marcy Manley joining us now live from Bryant. Marcy, this all began as a dispatch call, correct?
That's absolutely right, Bob. As you can see, there's a busted up door there, and that's where Bryant police say this all began. It triggered a burglary alarm call, and when Officer Scott Johnson arrived on scene, he found the suspect, Thomas Odell, inside that fenced-in area. And then he discovered that he was armed with a handgun. From there, police say Odell fired on Johnson, hitting him twice in the hand and once in the shoulder. Police say Johnson shot back at Odell, hitting and killing him. The officer treated and released from the hospital. He's expected to make a full recovery, but those minutes when his life was in question can be haunting for his fellow officers.
The calls coming across the radio that shots were fired and he's been hit. They know they got to get there, but you don't seem like you can get there fast enough. And that's all that's on your mind, is get there to help out my partner.
And now police aren't sure if Odell was merely traveling through and chose to come to this Fred's Pharmacy at random, or if he has connections to the area. That's something that they'll be looking into. Arkansas State Police are investigating the shooting further, and we anticipate that more details will come in the following days as they look into the circumstances surrounding this incident. Live in Bryant, Marcy Manley for KARK4 News.
Thank you very much. The man who was killed, who shot Officer Johnson, is accused of shooting a man in the face in the small Illinois town of Mattoon. Friends and family say that he killed this man. They said the man he killed spent most of his time volunteering and was very generous. Many people in town say news of Odell's death is the first good news they have heard in weeks.
Well, I hope it brings some closure to the family, and most people will be satisfied or happy one way or the other.
Just this past weekend, friends and family held a benefit for Mr. Newton in his town. White County Sheriff's deputies are looking for a suspected killer after a murder in Bald Knob early this morning. 34-year-old Crystal Timberlake was found dead. 48-year-old Robert Dixon had a gunshot wound and was rushed to a hospital. Detectives said they also found meth-making ingredients at the home on Highway 167. Police are now looking for 28-year-old Benjamin Pierce of Searcy. If you have any information on where that gentleman is, any information in this case at all, you're being asked to call authorities. And a Little Rock woman recovering tonight after being shot in the chest. This happened earlier this morning as well, near 28th and Cross. Neighbors called police after actually hearing the shots. They say they saw a woman lying in the street and then someone picked her up, put her in an SUV, and then drove away. She was later dropped off at Arkansas Children's Hospital. Tonight, she is at another Little Rock hospital. Her condition currently unknown. North Little Rock police named a suspect in a shooting death there 2 days ago. 18-year-old Samuel Douglas is wanted in connection with the Monday night shooting at the Exxon on Camp Robinson Road and the death of Xavier Woods. He faces charges of capital murder and possession of a firearm. If you have any information on where Douglas may be, you're being asked to contact police. To other news this evening, ExxonMobil CAO Rex Tillerson says in an interview with Fuel Fix, it's an online blog, that the oil spill in Mayflower was regrettable, but he said he's proud of the quick response to the incident. The company spokesperson said today ExxonMobil will pay all the cleanup costs. Between 3,500 and 5,000 barrels of heavy crude leaked from a ruptured pipeline. There's still no timeline when cleanup will be complete and no estimate on the total cost there. And today we learned the FAA issued a no-fly zone over the spill area just moments after we took this video and shared it with you on Monday. And Attorney General Dustin McDaniel paying a visit to Mayflower this morning, taking a first-hand look at what's going on there. He stopped at Highway 167 at a creek there where officials say oil began flowing out to other parts of Mayflower. Next stop, Northwood Subdivision, to see where the pipeline actually ruptured. Mr. McDaniel says what he saw was a disaster area, while Exxon says it's not a major oil spill.
I have been reminded by Exxon's representatives that this is a relatively small spill and cleanup is going just great. I hope that they realize that to the homeowners in this area, it is not small, it is catastrophic. And for those who fear for their drinking water, things are not great. That neighborhood was like a scene from The Walking Dead.
Exxon says more than 500 people are on site working, and it's been doing air quality monitoring that goes to the State Health Department. Now, this is just a few of oil spills ExxonMobil has dealt with over the past few years. This one you're looking at here in Kalamazoo County, Michigan, July of 2010. Crews used a boom to block the oil from spreading, also soaking it up from the water. Water tests came back showing no signs of oil in a nearby lake. Earlier this month, the Environmental Protection Agency said more dredging is needed to remove submerged oil in that area in parts of the Kalamazoo River. More than 1 million gallons of oil has been recovered since cleanup began there. And another break in an ExxonMobil pipeline contaminated the Yellowstone River in southern Montana. That happened in July of 2011. Take a look at some of these images. In this case, a 12-inch pipeline ruptured about 150 miles northeast of Yellowstone National Park near the end of a 55-mile pipeline. The water carried the oil past the city of Billings. Images of wildlife slicked in oil prompted some advocacy groups to question federal safety regulations, but officials responded saying they were doing everything they could to keep the area as safe as possible.
Certainly we want to protect the environment, have a clean river for all of us to enjoy. We all live here, and so we're doing everything we can.
Exxon officials assessed the spill from the air and determined ground crews and park visitors were safe at the time of that spill. Of course, we're following the situation here in Arkansas very closely, and we'll continue to keep you updated on the cleanup efforts. We're going to have a very special section for you called Oil Spill. It's on our website, arkansasmatters.com. There you can find the very latest coverage as well as past coverage and any updates that we may need to forward on to you. New photos coming out tonight from inside the Arkansas Nuclear One plant where Sunday's deadly accident took place. I want to show you some of those right now. The River Valley Leader in Russellville posting these pictures online, giving you an inside look at perhaps what happened there. You can see a large piece of equipment that apparently fell, caused damage to the plant, and then of course the accident which followed led to the death of one person, injuring 8 others there. Suspicious people near campus always raising concern and causing a lockdown at the Hot Springs High School today. Police and SWAT teams were called to Lakeside School after a man possibly with a gun was reported at a nearby station, Lakeside Primary School that is. According to the report, he entered the woods near the school. He was later located and arrested. Another woman near the gas station was also taken in. No guns were found, no gun at all. The school was cleared and released from lockdown status. A KRK4 News update for you now on the search for a missing 14-year-old girl in Walnut Ridge. According to the Times-Dispatch, a new search coordinator has been named in the effort to find Sydney Randall. Buddy Williams, the head of the Lawrence County Dive Team and reserve deputy, will head up the search. He says there are plans to organize more mass searches, but no dates have been set just yet. Also, a donation from the community has provided a $3,500 reward for any information leading to finding that teen. And another update for you now on the search for a pilot after his plane was found lodged in a ditch nose first in Kesko. The plane took off Monday from Saline County. Today, records arrived to pick up the plane. According to the Saline County Sheriff's Department, Dennis Hunter from California is wanted for aggravated assault for allegedly coming too close to a deputy as he was taking off in that plane. He's believed to be in the area somewhere, but not a threat to the community. We are your local election headquarters, and we are covering the session for you each and every day it moves forward. A House committee approves of more than $1 billion steel project for the state of Arkansas. But legislators here today, the project comes with significant risk. KARK 4's David Goins live at the state capitol with more on that risk versus the reward for Mississippi County. Hey, David.
Hey, Bob, exactly. The House Agricultural and Economic Development Committee today approving a $120 million bond issue that will now basically have taxpayer money attached to it. The vote here this morning was on a voice vote, and it passed relatively easily. Now, the Big River Steel project first announced back in January. It's set for Mississippi County in northeast Arkansas near Osceola. It comes with promises of employing more than 500 workers at an average salary of $75,000 a year. That would place it well over twice the median income for the state of Arkansas. But it does come with that risk we talked about. Taxpayers are on the hook for $120 million in bonds. Economic Development Director Grant Tennille telling the House committee today it's worth the risk.
I've done everything I know how to do and have talked to people a lot smarter than I am about how to protect the state. I think this is the right deal. I think it's got the right protections in it.
The full House is expected to vote on it on Friday. This combined with finally movement on Medicare, possible health insurance coverage for the 250,000 Arkansans without it, signaling possibly a session that could wrap up before April 19th. Live at the state capitol, David Goins, KARK 4 News.
All right, David, thank you very much. Hey, if you want employment benefits, you would have to submit to a drug test under legislation passed in the Senate committee today. Senate Bill 38 requires anyone collecting unemployment benefits to be able to pass a random drug test. The bill's sponsor says it will make sure people on unemployment are actively seeking jobs. The bill now moves to the Senate for a likely vote tomorrow. We'll keep you up to date on that. Still ahead, you probably had one to get through the day, but that energy drink, not the other kind of drink, the energy drink could be doing more harm than good. We're going to tell you the dangers in today's heartbeat. Plus, a museum in northwest Arkansas gets some very special recognition. Hear why they're being honored. That's still ahead.
And yet another winter-like day across Arkansas today. Areas of rain primarily east of the capital city. We only had a trace here in town. Our high 46, we started at 39. Just hang on one more day, and I promise spring weather will be back in the forecast. Details are straight ahead.
This is KARK 4 News at 5 and High Definition with Bob Clausen, Jessica Dean, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan. Now from KARK4, your weather authority, Arkansas's certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan.
Although we didn't see a whole lot of rain across much of the state today, it was another cloudy, cool, and damp day with temperatures generally holding in the 40s and 50s. Now, folks who did see some rain, primarily southeast and south central Arkansas earlier today as a disturbance moved up the Mississippi River, still have some areas of light rain in northeast Arkansas. Also, some areas of rain beginning to develop across west central and northwest Arkansas. A little bit closer look at the activity now in the northeast part of the state shows a decreasing in aerial coverage and in intensity, but the activity out west, that's going to be organizing a bit more as we head through the overnight hours, and it looks like another shot of a cold rain on the way for most of the state by later on this evening through much of the day tomorrow. Temperatures late this afternoon a little bit warmer in the northwest and north central part of the state. Clouds were a little bit thinner up there, right now holding in the low 50s. Elsewhere, where it's been raining much of the day, the coolest readings late this afternoon are across southeast Arkansas, where your temperatures right now are in the low 40s. Here in Little Rock with cloudy skies, we have seen some areas of drizzle and some very, very light rain. Our current temperature stands at 45 degrees. Winds are northeast at 14, so we're still talking about wind chills in the 20s and 30s across the state. And right now, the barometer 30.21. It's still falling. We still have that storm system out in the western United States or the central plains that'll be moving across the state as we head through a little bit later on during the overnight hours into the day tomorrow. Up at White Mountain, it is cloudy right now. It's a chilly 41 degrees. Heading out west over to Fort Smith, those folks too are cloudy with a temperature of 50. And up at Eureka Springs, cloudy skies as well. Current temperature up north along the Missouri state line currently stands at, we'll get this to flip over, at 48 degrees with northeast winds at 6 miles per hour. Well, elsewhere across the state, we have seen cloudy skies, and we have seen some thin spots in those clouds. There are those thin spots we were talking about just a few moments ago. But the main area of low pressure that'll be affecting us late tonight and through the day tomorrow, still holding off to our west, continues to organize over the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. It'll be moving east-southeastward through northeast Texas and northern Louisiana as we head through later on tonight. So all that rainfall that's developing over parts of Oklahoma and Texas and a little bit of wintry precipitation in parts of northwest Oklahoma will be moving eastward overnight tonight. And again, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a couple of areas of sleet along the Missouri state line late tonight through early tomorrow morning. That's the coldest time of the day, but we're not expecting any significant snow or sleet accumulations. But we will see by tomorrow morning areas of rain across the entire state. It'll begin to taper off by later on tomorrow afternoon. And finally, we'll get that area of low pressure well off to our east for Friday on into Saturday. That means plenty of sunshine back in the forecast. Spring returns to end the work week. And for much of the weekend, it's going to be pretty nice. We're going to see one area of low pressure by Sunday and Monday give us a couple of showers. Next strong storm system will be coming out of the Pacific Northwest. That'll be giving us a good chance of thunderstorms, and some of those may be severe by Tuesday. Tonight, though, cloudy skies, a 60% chance of rain toward dawn, down to 39. Tomorrow, rain will taper off to scattered showers by late in the afternoon with a high of 52. Your weather impact number, we're looking for a 2 tonight for rain, a 4 for rain tomorrow, and Friday, it'll be a 0, but the impact will be, it's going to be tough to go to work with that sunshine. Next 7 days, we're looking at Friday's high near 70, mid-70s for Saturday, and then we're going to be looking at a small chance of showers Sunday and Monday. Good, strong thunderstorm chances on Tuesday up to near 80, and then rain continues Wednesday as temperatures drop to the low 70s. Bob?
All right, Keith, thanks very much. Coming up, air traffic control towers across the country being shut down due to sequestration. Or one in the natural state getting the thumbs up. Stay with us.
KARK 4 News in high definition.
For the second time this week, people in central Arkansas are shaken by earthquakes. 2 tremors were recorded this morning just outside of Clinton. The first one, a 2.1, and the second one, a 3.1 on the Richter scale. According to the USGS, earthquakes that measure about 3.0 are often felt by at least some people, but don't do a whole lot of damage up there. That's the good news there. Fayetteville City Council footing the bill to keep Drake Field's air traffic control tower open. Sequester cuts have prompted the Federal Aviation Administration to eliminate funding for most contract towers in the nation. The Fayetteville Tower was set to close April 7th. City reserves can be used until October, but the airport manager hopes to change the FAA's mind before that.
We have more operations at Fayetteville Drake Field than Springdale or Rogers. The last time I checked, we were the 3rd busiest airport in the state.
The cost to keep the tower open close to $22,000 a month, so certainly not an inexpensive proposition at all. The state's premier art museum, if not the premier art museum in this part of the country, has been highlighted in some pretty big publications lately. Of course, we're talking about Crystal Bridges. The New York Times, Tulsa World, as well as the art newspaper published out of London have all made mention of the Crystal Bridges Museum within the past month. Museum directors say, along with the art exposure, this also allows the entire region to receive some great recognition.
Seeing Crystal Bridges in the context of other museums, whether they're regional or international, is always an exciting thing, I think, for this community.
The museum's latest exhibit, home to some national treasures right now, an exhibit featuring Norman Rockwell. It's already been seen by more than 25,000 visitors. Great stuff hanging on the walls there. Looking for an energy boost? Well, you may want to think twice before reaching for one of those many popular drinks out there to get you through the day. A look at the dangers ahead in today's Heartbeat.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am here live at Shannon Square. This is the Harps Shopping Complex. We're good? Looking good? Sounding good?
And now, the Heartbeat from the Jack Stevens Heart Institute at St. Vincent.
Energy drinks make it easy to add that boost, an immediate boost to your day. But according to new research, that energy burst comes with a consequence, potentially dangerous health problems, especially among teens and young adults. Jancy Sheets has more in tonight's Heartbeat.
The options for a quick caffeine boost keep pouring in. The energy drink industry is projected to reach nearly $20 billion in sales this year. all thanks to its most popular customer, teenagers.
Almost 1 in 5 8th graders drinks an energy drink every day.
That has experts concerned. Dr. Mary Claire O'Brien is one of 18 researchers who recently petitioned the Food and Drug Administration to restrict caffeine in energy drinks because they could be dangerous for young adults.
They are more sensitive to the effects of caffeine, in part because their body mass is lower, and in part because the majority of them are relatively caffeine naive compared to adults.
A new study shows energy drinks have an immediate impact on heart rhythm and cause an increase in blood pressure. While most adults can tolerate this slight change in heart rate, teens' inexperience with caffeine makes their reaction stronger, with the potential to cause severe cardiac events, especially among those with heart problems. Many energy drinks are classified as dietary supplements and therefore have no limit to the amount of caffeine that they can contain, unlike sodas.
We don't think it's safe based on the science, and we don't agree that the case has been made by the manufacturers that the levels are safe.
The American Beverage Association says research shows teens and young adults consume, on average, a third of the amount of caffeine as people over 21. For today's Heartbeat, I'm Jancy Sheets.
The FDA says evidence suggests it may be advisable for teens to limit their caffeine consumption. They're assembling a panel of experts to discuss that topic. Coming up right after the break, we're going to bring you the very latest from Mayflower as the cleanup of that oil spill continues. Stay with us.
Hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that. Oh, my mic is on.
Watching KARK 4 News in high definition.
Real quickly here, we want to check in with Caroline Whiteman. She is live in Mayflower tonight with an update on the oil spill cleanup out there. Hey, Caroline, how are things going today?
Bob, let me show you what's going on right now. I found some cleanup crews. They're working here behind the Shannon Square shopping complex. This is where Harps is. This is day 5 of cleaning up. An estimated 5,000 barrels of oil leaked into the area. Exxon representatives say they don't have a specific timeline when this oil will be cleaned up, and that's frustrating to homeowners I've talked to who have been displaced by the spill. People who live in the Northwood subdivision say they're concerned about the health and safety of their families, and they're even more concerned once this mess is cleaned up. They question the long-term impacts. They say their properties are forever damaged and they'll never be able to sell their homes. Exxon representatives say they will pay all of the costs related to the oil spill, but homeowners, they want to know when they're going to see compensation. Now, I'm told the focus of this cleanup is on excavation of the contaminated soil. I'll have much more on the story coming up tonight on KARK 4 News at 6. Bob, back to you.
All right, Caroline, thank you very much. Well, the weather weather be cooperating for the rest of the evening?
Well, this evening it looks like we're going to be pretty dry. We're going to see that rain redevelop by late tonight, so tomorrow morning's commute in could be on the wet side. That rain will be tapering off by afternoon. Still a cold day, 52. 70s as we head through the rest of the extended forecast. Rain chances pick up by next week. Some of those thunderstorms Tuesday could be strong to severe.
All right, Keith, thanks very much. We'll see you tonight at 6, everybody.